Welcome back, everyone. This is Mondo All Day, back to another video. And in this video, I'll be doing an overview of the gold label Target exclusive Waverider and Firestorm, the McFarlane Collector's Edition figure. As always, I'll be talking about the figure itself in terms of the articulation, sculpture, and paint, and if it's worth your purchase or not. Start off with Waverider, which I'll be honest with you, I have no idea who this character is, but he looks cool though, inside the box. There's the front, this side, the back, the other side, top, and bottom. If I can get it to, there you go. And then we'll do Firestorm, front of the box, this side, and it's going to be number 4, the back, the other side, top, and a bottom. Alright, now let's take a look at each figure outside the box. As always, we do come with a card. The front of the card looks like for Waverider. The back of the card. Put this back here. Front of the card looks like for Firestorm. The back of the card. And of course, Firestorm does come with a card holder. The ones we've seen before, typical thing. I wish this collection, or the collection for Collector's Edition, I wish the color palette on the card holder would be similar to like maybe the figure. So for instance, this is going to be the Firestorm. Maybe do red and orange or something like that. I think it would be really cool, but it is what it is, I guess. And of course, all you do is slide in the card, just like so, which I can do it. Okay, I can't do it right now, which is fine, but yeah. All you do is slide in the card like this, and you're good to go. Alright. And for Waverider, it does come with multiple accessories. This is his closed left fist. Not much to it, just black. A little bit like a hint of blue. And then a pointy right hand. And then it has this familiar looking fire accessories, and I say familiar because they look identical to the Flash one. So if you have a Flash figure, you've probably seen this before. So here's one of them. It has, on one side is orange, and then the other side has like a bluish turquoise color on it, which looks pretty cool. It looks weird. I don't know if it's mine. And then here's another one. Same kind of color palette again. One side is orange, the other side is like that bluish turquoise color. And same thing here. This accessory, again, it's a lot of accessories for Waverider. And the last one is going to be this one right here. And then for Firestorm, it has so many accessories. Okay, here we go. I'm going to show you. I'll do it by pairs. So it does come with 2 fists, of course, for Firestorm. 2 chop hands, as I call them. Right. It had an open hand on his left hand. His right hand pointing. And then you have some really cool, unique ones here, which I actually like. These are pretty cool. This is going to be his left fist with that weird molecule type of thing. It's pretty cool. I actually like the color on it. Mixture of like orange, bright orange, like a light orange. And what I like about it is like the bubbles on here. I don't know if you guys can see it perfectly. The bubbles have like an outline of the color of the fist, which is pretty cool. It makes the actual bubbles pop. Little details like that, you can see perfectly right here what I mean. See the outline on the bubbles? It's pretty cool. And it comes with a right chop hand with the fire molecule, whatever you want to call it. Again, I like that orange with the nice bright light orange outline on it. It looks really, really nice. And of course, they both come with a stand, but the Collector's Edition one does come with this stand that's painted that silver on the DC logo. Wow, that's a lot of accessories for these figures. Now let's take a look at Waverider. We'll start off with the articulation. So head, left, right, up, down. Up, down is not the greatest because it does hit right the chin and the back, but left, right, it's good. Shoulder, bicep, elbow, wrist, torso. Not a whole lot back, and then forward, it's not the greatest. And swivel, leg, knees. Ooh, it's a little stiff right now. Ooh. Ankles, toes as well too. Overall, the articulation on this figure, it's good overall. I mean, just limited on the head and some parts, especially the torso, but it's nothing major or anything. I think it's fine overall. Now let's talk about this figure. Now, if this looks familiar, it's because it is. It's essentially a repaint of a different figure, which is going to be that one right there, which I'll show you in a bit. Of course, there's some differences. First off, we'll start off with the headpiece. The headpiece, I like the headpiece. It has a white eyes. You know me with white eyes. I'm a sucker for it. But this one does have a black outline on the eyes, which is pretty darn cool. I actually didn't notice that when I got it. I like that. And then you have the nice bright gold paint on there, which looks good. And of course, the face design. The design in the face, it's plain looking. Some people say it looks like The Rock. I can kind of see resemblance of The Rock, but to me, it's just a generic facial expression and face piece. But the paint looks good though. Good sculpted design on that headpiece. Then you got the nice flames on there. I wish there was a bit more to the flame. It's just orange, which is fine, but I wish there was more to it. You know what I mean? Like maybe some like markings here and there of like a light orange or dark orange. I would make it really, really pop. But it's just plain orange and it's fine overall. So the headpiece, I think it's fine overall. In terms of the upper body, the shoulders, they're just very muscle tone, and it does have the, I don't know the correct terminology to correct me for what it is, but I call it the Green Lanterns or the Lanterns design in terms of the actual texture feel. It has that really like textured feel to it of a lot of the lanterns have, and it looks good though overall. And that's pretty much it. In terms of the centerpiece, you have a little bit of design there, and then the abdomen as well too. Again, something we've seen before. Then there's the back of it as well too. You got the nice bright gold on there. And then you got more of that textured feel on the back. More design right there in the back. And then on the forearms, a little design right there. Looks pretty cool. Again, we've seen this before. And then on the right arm, it's going to be identical. Now, the paint on the orange part right here on the forearms, it has a little bit of that pearl to it. Very, very little. Not a whole lot compared to another figure, which I'll compare it in a bit. Very little. On that, you can see it right there, that pearl, just a little bit. And I wish this whole gold piece right there would have had that same paint. I think it would have popped a lot more, because the centerpiece right here, or the upper torso I should say, it's just regular like goldish, orangish look, but yet the forearms have that pearl to it. So it's a missed opportunity, but it's fine overall. And then you have the sides right here, a little design on there, and there's the back of it as well too. And like I said, the upper body, it's just plain looking. It's not bad. I want to make it clear. It's not a bad looking figure. It's just plain. It has that black texture that I always like with the lanterns. And of course, that nice bright gold and orange paint. And so, overall, the upper body, I got to say, it's a cool looking figure. I like the figure. It looks good. And then with that headpiece, it's different. It looks odd. But I think it works fine. And I think it will look very well when you display with other figures. So, overall, upper body looks good. The lower body, it's very plain looking. I mean, more of that lantern textured feel. The back of it, not much to it. He does somewhat squats, right? There's a design of the back of the boots. The boots are, again, very simple. Something we've seen before. But it does have that pearl paint. Not a whole lot, but it has a nice, bright orange and gold paint. There's the front of it. More design there. Underneath as well, too. And the feet, there's not much to it in terms of the design. So, overall, I gotta say, the figure looks good overall. I like the figure. I'll be honest, I've never heard of this character. Coming from a guy who reads DC Comics, I've never heard of this character. Maybe I've seen him, but to be honest, I've never heard of this character. And so, overall, I gotta say, it's a cool looking figure. I like it. I like the headpiece. The design on the hair, flaming hair, looks cool. And so overall, it's a good looking figure. I can't really hate on it. And with the accessories that you get, again, for the price, I think it's a good deal for this figure. So I'll talk about that in a bit. But overall, I gotta say this figure, it's a good looking figure. It's one of those, if you're familiar with this character, boom, there you go. If not, I still think it's a good looking figure to add to your collection for the DC Multiverse. Now let's take a look at Firestorm. We'll start off with the articulation. So head, left, right, up, down. Shoulder, pretty loose. Bicep. Elbow. Oof. Wrist. Torso. Ooh, a lot more compared to Waverider. Swivel. Ooh, it's a little stiff right now, but it's fine. Yeah, it's a little stiff, but it's okay though. Leg, knees, ankles, toes as well too. So overall, the articulation on this figure is actually pretty good overall. Now let's talk about this figure. And right away, if this looks familiar, it's because it does have a lot of similarities to another figure, which I'll show you in a bit right there. But man, this headpiece looks incredible. Look at that facial expression. I mean, one, the wide eyes look really, really good. The eyebrows look menacing and mean, especially that grin, the painted lips. But man, that face paint and design looks really, really, really nice. Top notch. Then you got the black outline on the actual eyes itself. It looks menacing. And then you have like the helmet, I guess you can say. A little bit of design there. And then the back, there's not much to it. And of course, the actual top part of the flaming head part of the hair, it looks really nice. And I really wanted to show you this because this one, you can see what I mean, the outline. You notice is like the base is going to be that bright orange, but then it has like a little bit of a yellowish light orange, and it looks incredible. It makes it look like it's real. Obviously it's not, but it gives it that effect compared to this one right here, where this was just plain orange. See the difference? So when I said like this one needs a little bit like some streaks here and there to make it pop, this is what I'm referring to. Because when you see this one and you see all that flames, it just pops and it looks really, really nice. And then you add that facial expression and that pain detail. Come on, this looks incredible for this headpiece. Then you have the arms. The arms are plain looking, not much to it. Alright, it looks like it just has like a shirt on there, not much to it. Then you got the forearm. Again, not much to the forearm. But man, then you got this weird looking design on the hands. You got more of that flames on there, which looks really, really nice. It still has that same palette compared to the accessories, where it's like orange is the base, and then you have the yellowish outline. And then the other side has that fist. Again, the bubbles have the outline as well too. You can see perfectly what I mean. But it looks really, really nice. Then you have the Firestorm logo on there. On the upper body, looks nice. It's white. It's not really white. It's like a creamish look to it. But in terms of the body size, it's just a regular body size figure in terms of muscle tone. And then you have here the back of it as well too. And so overall, the upper body looks really cool. The face though, the headpiece, top notch, man. I'm telling you, when you see this in person, especially the facial expression in that headpiece, oh my god, this looks really, really good for what you're getting for this for 30 bucks. And then you got the rest of the body. Again, this is how Firestorm looks like in the comics. I know there's two versions of this figure. There's this one, and there's going to be a platinum, which I'll have an image to the right. And I personally prefer the platinum one compared to this one. I haven't found it just yet, but it's okay though. So this one, overall, the upper body, I think it looks really nice. Bright colors on there. You got that base, like, mustard color, as I call it. Then you have, like, the faded red on there. And, of course, the headpiece, the facial. Just looks nice, man. And then you have the lower body. The lower body is just very muscle toned. We got thick thighs on there. He does do some squats, not a whole lot. There's the back and back of the boots as well, too. A little bit of design on the sculpture. There's the side of the boots. Again, more detail on there, which looks nice. I wish there was a bit more painted on here. Maybe like some black here and there or gray. Make it pop more. But it's fine, though. Then you got the feet. And here is the front of the boots itself. So great looking boots. The legs are plain looking, but the boots itself is well designed. But man, the colors on this figure just pop. And so overall, great looking figure. I'm telling you, the headpiece, the facial, that face design just looks realistic, man. And for the price you're paying for $30, great looking headpiece. And so overall, I gotta say, good looking figure, man. McFarlane nailed Firestorm. When I heard about Firestorm, I was like, how's it gonna look? But man, having it the collector's edition and having all this detail, I gotta admit, it's a great looking figure. And so, heck yeah, this is a must buy in my opinion. Of course, the main question is it really worth it? Should you go out and get these figures? I'll start off with Waverider. Honestly, for the price you're paying of $20, I gotta say, that one's a good looking figure. And what you're getting, I think it's a good deal. One, you get multiple accessories. Yes, we get the accessories that we've seen from Flash, but obviously the painted orange to make it look like it's flames and that blue tint on it. And you get additional pair of hands and a new headpiece for $20. I gotta say, I think for that one, I think it's a good deal for that one. It's not great, but it's good overall. Now, Firestorm, for $30, heck yeah, fantastic deal. One, you get the card stand, which, let's be honest, all of us don't care. You do get the cool looking card, which I like. But man, the amount of accessories is ridiculous. And on top of that, the accessories have that color palette, like I said, or I shown, regarding the bubbles having that outline of like light orange or yellow. It makes it pop. And again, for $30 for what you're getting, I think that one's a really good deal. Regardless of the price though, what I think about these figures, I really like both of them. I think they both look great. The biggest highlight is going to be, of course, Firestorm. Just that facial detail, it just looks incredible. I'm telling you, when you see it in person, you're going to be like, damn, all of that detail in that face, and it looks almost real for $30? Heck yeah. In conclusion, what do I give these figures? Easily get a thumbs up for me. They both look really well. Yes, they are repaints from other figures that we've seen, but you gotta admit, they look really good, and they will look fantastic when you display both of these next to each other, but also with other characters within the DC Multiverse. Here we have Batrocitus. This is going to be from the, I believe it's Tales from the Dark Knights or something like that, or Dark Knights Metal storyline, or yeah, something like that. And of course, Waverider. Now, like I said, when I was doing an overview of this figure, does it look familiar? Of course, because it comes from Batrocitus. Obviously, there's going to be some differences. Obviously, the lantern logo, the shoulder pieces on there too. But a lot of it is going to be a lot of similarities. Look at the abdomen. Look at the sides right here. The boots as well too. Has that kind of cut look to it. You can see right. Come on. You can see the design right there. What I'm referring to is also on the... So the origins of this figure, I guess you can say, it's going to be from the Batrocitus. And again, cool looking figure, but this one has that faded paint. I don't know why, something about it. It doesn't look bad. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't look bad, but it has like a faded red to it. And when you have it next to this one, you can see the nice shiny paint on it. So there you go. Here we have Death Storm. This is going to be from the Blackest Night wave, and of course Firestorm. Like I said, this figure resemblance to, well, the previous figure we had there. If you can see a Death Storm from the Blackest Night wave. Obviously, there's going to be some differences. It's going to be the logo, but you get what I'm saying, though. Inspiration of this figure. These both look incredible, but if you were to ask me, Mondo, which one do I prefer? I'm going to go for this one. As much as I like this headpiece, and I like it a lot, this right here, this headpiece, just fantastic. Look at that. You gotta admit, that is a badass looking headpiece. The flames on there, the detail on the skull, the eyes. Man, this is what I'm talking about. When you do something crazy like this, McFarlane nails it, and it looks incredible. Even though the rest of the figure is very plain looking, because it really is, I don't care. Out of these two, I still prefer the Deathstorm over the Firestorm. I like this one, don't get me wrong. But man, this headpiece right here, 10 out of 10. Here we have Blue Beetle from the Blue Beetle movie wave, and of course Firestorm. Am I the only one that when I think of Firestorm, I always think of Blue Beetle, and vice versa? Whenever I think of Blue Beetle, I always think of Firestorm? Maybe it's just me, because I played the Injustice 2 video game, and I saw these two, and again, whenever I think of one character, I always think of the other one, and vice versa. But here we have Blue Beetle next to Firestorm. Here we have Sinestro from the Collector's Edition line, and of course, Waverider. Now, they both have that, like, the lantern texture feel, like I said. This one, you can see the textured, right here. You can see it a lot more here. As I mentioned regarding the paint, this one on the forearm has, like, a pearl paint to it. Right here in the forearm. Not a whole lot, but I wish the body had more of pearl paint. Because this one right here has that nice shiny paint on it, that pearl paint. And it looks really, really, really nice. Let me see if my camera can pick it up. There you go. You can see a little bit of the paint on there. Especially in the forearm. My camera's not picking it up, being a little difficult. But you get what I'm saying, though. And it has a nice purple. But you can see that perfectly right there in the boots as well, too. So it looks really, really nice. So here we have Sinestro next to Waverider. Here we have both of them standing next to each other. Waverider and, of course, Firestorm. Now, if you would ask me which one do I prefer, I'm going to go for Firestorm just because of the face piece. I'm telling you, when you see this in person, you're going to be like, damn, that is a good looking face piece. The detail and the paint, everything about it just looks incredible. But if this didn't have this good looking headpiece, honestly, I would go for more of a Waverider. Even though I don't know anything about this character, just the paint and just everything about it, I think it works well and looks really nice. And it's one of those figures to where when you display it, it's going to grab your attention because it looks cool. It's one of those figures where, again, you put in other DC Multiverse figures, something about it is just going to grab your attention. And the more I think about it now, you could probably get I forgot his name, but the Orange Lantern. If you guys know what I'm talking about, the Orange Lantern. Maybe you can find like the headpiece, put it on here on this one. Boom, now you have an Orange Lantern. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me on these figures? Do you plan on purchasing these figures? Leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. This includes an overview of Firestorm and Waverider. And on to the next one.